like to think that we are too smart to fall for marketing tricks. I know I think this all the time. I'm like, someone else might fall for that, but not me. But some of these things are so covert, we might not even be realizing them. So today I want to uncover some of the sneaky lies that beauty brands are using to convince us to buy more and more products. Let's start with the one that I feel the most passionately about, and that is the new name, same product switcheroo, okay? The best illustration that I have of this is the new Rhode Lip Contours, okay? Obviously that product is a lip liner. It lines the lips, hence it is a lip liner. However, the marketing approach that the brand is taking on this is that it is not a lip liner, it is a lip contour. Whereas we could make the argument that on some level all lip liners do some form of contouring because they are drawing out the lip line. And you might be thinking, Kelly, that's kind of innocuous. Who cares if they want to call it a brand new product? How are they really tricking me there? Well, the issue comes in because now the predetermined expectations for blank style of product no longer have to be lived up to. And when it comes to the Rhode lip liners, I have heard everyone talking about how they don't last. If we were to write a list of things that we expect from a lip liner, the top of the list would be longevity. And granted, some formulas are more extreme wearing. However, that's kind of a basis for a lip liner. It should last. But with the Rhode lip liners in particular, that has been the consensus, that they do not stay. You put it on, you can wipe it right away. But in review after review that I've watched, I've heard creators saying, well, this isn't supposed to last that long because it's not a lip liner, it's a lip contour, which, as we established, is a fake made-up category that they just invented because at the end of the day, you could contour your lips with any product. It's just coming down to the right tone. It doesn't have to be that. Sure, that product might be ideal for doing it, but that product is a lip liner. We know it's a lip liner. Most of us would agree that a lip liner that doesn't last, that would be an undesirable quality. But because they've positioned this as not being a lip liner, the general public seems to be okay with the fact that it doesn't last because we're now convinced that the style of product that this isn't supposed to last.
I've seen everyone talk about the new Rhode peptide lip shape. And why does everyone think this is a lip liner? Rhode lip shapes are lip contours.
Are the new Rhode lip contours a scam? No, they're not. Some of you just don't know how to do makeup. They're lip contours and not lip liners, so the formula is more blendable and creamy.
These are lip contours. They're not lip liners. A lip contour is meant to contour your lips.
Listen, I know one's a lip contour, it has peptides in it, it is meant for hydration, lip plumping over time. Where on the other hand, one is a liner, so it is meant to kind of define the lips a little bit more. It's marketed as a long wear, whereas the Rhode, there are no claims that it is long wear, however.
It has been wild to watch review after review saying, well, the product never claimed to be long wearing, as if in some way that could still be a desirable quality of a lip product. Another current example is this from Supergoop. This is their newest sunscreen and they've named it the Mineral Glow Screen, the Soft Radiance Drops. So this is the same as this, I will tell you that right now. This is their original Glow Screen sunscreen. I love this, it's a fantastic formula. And the only difference between the original and the new is that the new ones have less intensity. So they're not as glowy, they're not as luminous as that original formula. And with that in mind, it probably would have been most logical to just name this the Glow Screen Light, or the Soft Lit Glow Screen, or something like that. Because formula-wise, they're almost identical in terms of consistency, application, wear. The only difference is the level of illumination that they have. But because drops are very buzzy right now in beauty, both in skincare and makeup launches, they're gonna sell more because they've positioned this not being the same as this, but as this brand new product called the Soft Radiance Drops. Because maybe you already have the original glow screen in your collection, so you don't necessarily need to go out and buy a less intense version of it. But when it's positioned as an entirely brand new, completely separate product, then it becomes a little bit more appealing. And the whole thing about this has just made me laugh because this is really great. I like it more than the original, but there's something very sneaky about the way that they're positioning this as this completely new product. Their Radiance Drops, because that word drop is very buzzy right now in beauty. New name, same product. Next, we have to talk about the empty buzzwords. This one really gets under my skin. There are a lot of different call-outs that products will make that are just not substantiated. So let's run over a few. One of my favorites, we see this one all the time, is dermatologist tested. That doesn't really mean anything. I mean, sure, on a literal level, a dermatologist probably tested it, but they were also probably paid to do that. Same thing with dermatologist recommended. Again, like they probably paid a dermatologist to recommend it. And what does that even mean? This one singular dermatologist, they're empty buzzwords. They don't really mean anything, but they sound really appealing on product packaging. The next one, controversial, but I need to speak my truth here. Medical grade does not mean anything. There is no like standard definition of that. I know it's presented as medical grade means that there's a higher concentration of this, that, or the other. And certainly there could be very great high quality skincare products that are medical grade, but there are also fantastic products at the drugstore that also contain high levels of active ingredients and are incredibly efficacious on your skin. Medical grade is a marketing term. There is no difference in regulation. There is no legal definition of what that phrase means. You might have fantastic results with those products, but you also might have fantastic results with other products that are not quote unquote medical grade. I'm actually gonna leave a fantastic video from one of my all-time favorite creators, Lab Muffin Beauty Science, down below where she breaks this down. She can speak to it better than I can, but just know, like, do not fall for it. Medical grade doesn't really mean anything. Any of those vague claims, like this has none of that bad stuff. What is that bad stuff? What kind of bad stuff? This is one I will see a lot, especially in like paid campaigns from influencers. And I have had brands list similar things in talking points for partnerships that I've done with them. And I'm very vocal that I'm not going to say no bad things. It's way too vague. It essentially means nothing. Like what are these bad things? And the list goes on and on for these empty buzzwords. You know, we've got clean, which doesn't have any legal definition. That also falls in line with pure or 100% pure or natural, 100% natural. What does that mean? What do they mean by that? And the percentage thing in particular is a big one. I think of the new blushes from Glow Recipe. They were adamant in all of their promos that these products were 100% skincare. I love Glow Recipe, but that is just marketing junk. 100% skincare? What do you mean by that? This product has pigment in it. It is a tinted cheek product. We also see this in greenwashing when brands try to present themselves as being more sustainable than they are with, again, just using vague terms like we're sustainable, ethically produced, even if they're never actually defining why or how they're sustainable or ethically produced. Which will lead us into the next one that's actually pretty connected with this, but it is the free from claims. Another thing you should be very leery of, because these are claims that are then presented as pros for the product, whether they are or not. Things like parabens, silicones, you see those a ton listed on beauty products as like, oh, we're free from this. And if you want more info on that, I will leave a video linked down below for my friend Abby Young. She is a certified trichologist, and she talked extensively in a recent video about silicones and sulfates, specifically in drugstore shampoos and conditioner, and she can break it down way better than I can. But I also want to share a TikTok that Abby shared in that video from creator Jane the Chemist, where she shared an email that a brand sent her asking to pay her to spread misinformation on this topic.
You know what pisses me off more than misinformation on this app? It absolutely makes me so mad when brands, yes, brands, are paying influencers to spread misinformation. Let me show you exactly what I mean. This is an email that I got from a brand, and a very large brand at that, which I know has budget, for 2 TikToks where they wanted me to talk about silicones and why they're bad for your hair. And as a cosmetic chemist, you know that I do not condone that. Hope you're doing well, and it's good to reconnect. We wanted to reach out to see if Jane would be interested in partnering, blah, 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 about the negative effects of silicone in hair care. We've been seeing some conversation online about people opting for shampoos and conditioners with silicone in them. We want to be sure that we're properly educating on why silicone-free is healthy for your hair in the long run. As someone that formulates products, I know the wonderful effects of silicone for your hair. It just makes it so silky, it protects it, it does so many things. But someone that doesn't work my job would easily take this and spread that information. And this influencer wouldn't have known any better, because this is a large brand that people love and they probably would just trust what they're saying. They also wanted me to react to 2 videos here. One of those videos is a video of a dermatologist, saying that silicone was good for your hair. I'm not going to disagree with the dermatologist. Needless to say, I turned this opportunity down real quick. All this to say, misinformation can be spread in so many different ways. It can come from the influencer or an expert, or it comes from a brand paying for this misinformation to spread.
You'll see this a lot on food as well, like things that really claim being gluten-free, which obviously is important to someone that has a gluten allergy, but they're just slapping that on every product these days. I'm like, of course it's gluten-free. It's an orange. But again, these free from claims really position the product as being cleaner or healthier or more natural. They definitely fall under the umbrella of greenwashing. And certainly if you have an allergy or a sensitivity to a certain ingredient, it would be valuable for you to know. 9 times out of 10, they're not telling you this because they think you might have a sensitivity to it. They're telling you because they believe that it will convince you that the product is better or higher quality than it actually is. Now, one I have been thinking about a lot lately is the all-elusive before and after photo. Because 9 times out of 10, the conditions are night and day between photos 1 and 2. Maybe the lighting is different, maybe their hairstyle has changed, maybe their facial expression has changed. I see this a lot. The before photo, they'll have the model looking so sad, and then in the after photo, they're finally smiling because they bought this foundation. And some of these are quite obvious. We can tell when there's makeup in one photo before versus the after. But there are a lot of very sneaky ways that this is done that I don't think people always pick up on. A great example, there could be a skincare product. In the before photo, it looks as you would expect. But in the after photo, this product maybe has claims that it's gonna lift and tighten the skin. And in the after photo, maybe they're not wearing face makeup, but they are suddenly wearing eyebrow makeup. The brows are really lifted up at an angle, making the face appear lifted and snatched. And then the consumer thinks, oh, okay, they actually got some pretty dramatic results. The face looks really snatched in the after photo. When in reality, the brows are doing most of that work. A sneaky trick on a mascara before and after is adding eyeliner. Anytime you're adding liner to the lash line, it's going to create the illusion of a thicker, fuller lash line. So yes, maybe the mascara did bulk up the lash line, but it's also benefiting from that added eyeliner as well, making it appear even more dramatic than it is. Now we know that you can't necessarily put much credibility in the before and after from a brand. Obviously, they're gonna tweak it a little bit. But another place I don't think a lot of people consider is an influencer's before and after. Even the times where the creator might be being completely honest. If the before and after photos are not taken in the exact same lighting with the exact same camera and every other condition mirrored between image 1 and image 2, it is not a valuable before and after. The amount of times I have seen a video of someone showing like a side-by-side where on one side, they were just caught at a very unflattering angle. And then on the other side, they are posing with perfect skincare. The sun is hitting them perfectly. It's like golden hour. And they're like, here's everything I did to get from photo A to photo B. And I'm like, these photos genuinely could have been taken on the exact same day, just from different angles. They don't actually illustrate anything to the viewer.
Let's talk about the 5-year difference between these two photos from here to here and what all I've done to my face.
This was me 6 months ago. This is me now. I'm gonna tell you everything I did / currently do to have this glow up in such a short period of time.
Another before and after call out that I want to make is one that I've been trying to drill into my own head recently, and that is that we, unfortunately, will never be the before and after. And I'm specifically thinking of skincare here because there are times where I see a before and after and it's actually a well done side by side. Like, the photographer kept most of the conditions the same between the two. There are not as many variables as the other examples we mentioned. And I think to myself, wow, this person had a significant reduction in post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation or acne or fill in the blank. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's actually a pretty dramatic result. These photos feel at least semi-credible. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, I'm seeing a, let's say 30% difference between the two photos. What would my skin look like if I got 30% improvement? But that's the thing. You will not. You probably will not. Because you have to consider that the brand had a plethora of options to choose from. They were sitting there with all the before and afters with an entire team thinking, which of these before and afters showcases the most dramatic result? I don't doubt that there were many before and afters that you really couldn't see a big difference between. And if I'm being honest, that will probably be your result and it will probably be my result. And I don't mean that from a pessimistic perspective, but skincare is not a miracle product. There are very few things that you could apply topically and see a night and day difference alone relatively quickly. If skincare marketing was actually honest, the product would say, you'll look slightly more hydrated, but don't expect any miracles. Let me know if you have any lies you think we might be falling for in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.